In this video, we're going to quickly look at how to create a Jamboard going through the Google site, not through a Google Meet, so you can plan your Jamboards before class starts, and you can have it ready to go for your classes. We're going to go quickly through the process of how to build something in Google Slides and then snip it as an image and save it as a background in Jamboard. That way students can't delete things, and then talk about how to give access to your students so that they can edit, and then if you want them to stop editing, how to kind of switch that back so it almost pauses the activity for them and becomes a view-only file. So if you're used to creating Jamboards through your Google Meet, there is another way that you can sort of pre-plan a Jamboard before class starts. And to do that, you're going to go to jamboard.google.com. and you are going to see all of the different Jamboards that you have created. If you haven't created Jamboards before, this might be completely blank, and so there will be a plus sign down here that says New Jam, and so if you open that up, it should give you a completely blank Jamboard. Up here where it says Untitled Jam, if you click that, you can rename that to whatever you want, and so I'm going to call mine Strawberry Jam. It's my favorite. And so now we're going to talk about how to create something, because the creation side of Jamboard isn't very user-friendly. It has its ups and downs, but it's a lot easier to create something in a Google slide and then to be able to snip it and set it as a background. So here's an example of an open middle problem for an Algebra 1 class. And let's say that I want the students to do this problem in a Jamboard, but I don't want them, clicking and deleting all the stuff that I have in there. What you can do is build this in a Google Doc and then use your snipping tool. When you click on that, go to New. And so I'm going to snip this screen and then save the image. So I'll call it snip open middle. Now I save the image. So now on my Jamboard, where it says set background, this is a newer feature that you can actually upload an image and set that as your background. Before it used to just sort of be the little graph backgrounds. And so now here we have all the different ways we can upload an image. So since I saved it, we did snip open middle. And now I can't click and drag that. If a student were in here, they would not be able to delete that or change it. And so this is kind of where we're at. When you're in a Jamboard, if I click where it says 1/1, what that does is that expands the frames, and I can kind of quickly see who's in what Jamboard. If I wanted to duplicate this slide, rather than continuing to build this over and over again and having to set the background for each slide, you can simply hit duplicate, and that replicates the slide. And I believe you can do this for up to 20 slides. And so now, when students are in here, there will be a little bubble up at the top that you can see their little Google icon of who's on what slide. And this is a great space for them to collaborate. So in order to get the students to collaborate, what you can do is click the share button up here. Right now you can see that this is private only to me. So down here you can hit change link to Loudoun County Public Schools, and then switch this to editor. When you hit done, so now students will be able to get in here and edit on the document. If class is ending and you kind of want to wrap up, or you need to sort of pause the class for a moment to look at something and not necessarily be working on the Jamboard anymore, what you can do is click back on that share setting, click change again, and switch it from editor to viewer. And what that does is that essentially pauses the activity, and anyone who was able to edit can no longer edit on it, and it sort of pauses them in their tracks. So that is how you can sort of create and set backgrounds on a Jamboard. So now that you have your Jamboard ready to go, how do you get this to your students? So let's say you accidentally closed out of the Jamboard and that tab is gone. The day of class that you want your students to access the Jamboard, you simply go back to that jamboard.google.com website. And then here were all of your Jamboards listed, so we can open up whatever Jamboard it is that we wanted to share, and then we can simply copy and paste the link to our students.